we have Abhimanyu with us. I hope everyone has joined the room. Okay, the number is still going up. I can see people are still joining it. Great. So it's time for our next talk for the day. And the next speaker is Abhimanyu Choudhary, who is Chief Business Officer at XoxoDay. Abhimanyu is the founding member and chief business officer at XoxoDay and focuses primarily on driving revenue through global SaaS sales. He comes with 12 plus years of experience as a B2B sales leader and is also responsible for producing revenue results that exceed expectations across geographies like US, UK, ANZ, APAC, and Middle East, building amazing sales teams, go-to-market strategies, and drive sales enablement. His topic for today is Know Your Employee Pulse in the Age of Social Distancing. And by the way, Zozo Day is also partners for this conference, and they have an amazing tool that may probably help, especially at this time of crisis. So over to you, Abhimanyu.
Thanks, Saurabh. Thanks for the introduction.
Yeah.
So, hi, good afternoon, everyone, and I would like to take an opportunity to thank each one of you. First of all, I understand that a lot of webinars, seminars are back to back going on, and we try and engage as much of knowledge we can in current situation because all our travels are not in place, and that's where we have more time to learn. But I come from a business background, but I really enjoy always being with the HR fraternity, and the reason being because the product we have is made for people. In today's time, or I would say, whenever we started, and people should be the core. I always have different views with different HR leaders when I meet. Most of them say that it's the business who is the driver for organizations. I differ in view, and I say that it's people. It's people who are the drivers for any and every organization if we start thinking into that direction. Today, I decided that let me speak something about knowing the pulse. Though it's a very vast chapter, and would not be wrong to say that knowing the pulse of your people is very similar to knowing the pulse of your spouses, and especially wife. So on a lighter note, I thought that I will start and will give you a brief of that, how we can know our people, how to address the problems, the situation we are into. And with that endeavor, I decided to get onto my topic. What I'll be doing it, since I'll be on a presentation mode, any questions which would be coming from your end, I'll take it at the last of the session. What I have tried to do is that I have given a story background to the entire conversation of mine. And the endeavor is to make you guys understand that why is it necessary to know the pulse, how we can know the pulse of our people. So what I have done is I have taken an example in today's scenario, that is as a doctor, and therein how a HR leader and a doctor go hands in hand, and in both the sides why we need them. Yeah, so together in a short story, I'll try to convey what I wanted to. At the end, I'll be taking few of the questions to that. So permit me to present, please.
Yes, please, Abhimanyu. Please go.
Hope my screen is visible, sir.
Yes, it is.
Thanks. So as rightly mentioned by most of the leaders, that in today's time, we need to check the pulse of our people. It was, though, equally difficult when we were checking the pulse when we were in our offices, but HR is being fixed more, or HR is in further trouble to know the pulse of our people in today's time when people are working remotely, are at a distance. Therein, I thought to bring upon some fundamental, some insights which might be of help to you guys. Now, what I have tried to do is that I have taken a story and I have plotted a doctor into a story. And I say that most of us fails at time. Why? Because if there is a small ailment, if we find that we have some headache or stomach, we ourselves become a doctor and we take medicine accordingly. We hardly consult or we think to visit a doctor when we have this kind of a problem. Though we keep claiming that I know it the best because I understand the best. On the same side, I would like, with all due respect, I would like to place the HR leader for any organization who think that employee engagement is what I master into. But friends, let us understand why I have placed the screen in front of you. Yeah? Because most of the time we don't know what needs to be fixed. Most of the time we are trying to fix the problem, whereas problem as of now is not being identified. Most of the time what we have seen that leaders coming from different domain try and analyze a problem as per that domain specialty. By that I mean, if I come from an L&D, I might be seeing a problem into L&D as a department, or I would emphasize that people don't have frequent trainings. Our organizations are not doing frequent trainings, and that's the reason that employee engagement is missing. Few of them would say that I come from an HRBP background. I had been a business partner always, and I understand because I had been the closest link to people, and people walk to me to understand and share their problem, and so on and so forth. Now, what generally happens is there comes a biases. The biases still adds up to it. The reason being, I have come from an X organization and have joined the Y. I see and I repeat what I did in X. Come on, friends. The situation is not same. The problem might not be the same. The geography might not be the same. The audience might not be the same. How can we have a one-shot solution for everyone? And that's a question mark, and that's a thought I thought to bring to all of you to have your viewpoint onto that. How is that possible that we are fixing employee engagement? We might say, hey, there is a problem of an appreciation in my organization. Have you checked that? Was there a thermometer to do that? How do you know? Or it's just by an assumption, or by a thought process, or just with a gut feeling. So those are some of the thoughts which were pertaining to employee engagement in my mind, because most of our are stuck here. We don't diagnose the problem. We don't diagnose at all, and that's where the actual problem starts. When we fail, we blame each other, wherein the actual problem is that we have not diagnosed it. Now, let me talk into this because this is again very core. What happens in this situation and scenario? Say that, let me walk in the right direction. As a patient, if the problem is not that severe, if I am able to diagnose myself, fantastic, wow, hats off to you. But it is limited to certain diseases or certain problems, or else you have to visit your doctor. You need to take a piece of advice, because if you want to survive, and if you are keen to visit your doctor to get your ailments solved or find a resolution, how do you expect that you become an expert and you would be able to solve that problem? I still wonder, because that's a common problem which most of our leaders bring for us, and this is a time to do an introspection. Our employees are always far from us if we are not able to gauge the pulse. It's only and only they are close if we are able to find the pulse of our people. That's the only way they become close to us. And that's where I say that please find an expert who can guide you, who can nurture you, who can help you to diagnose the problem your organization, your people are envisaging, rather than just a generic statement. So while you go to an expert, there are different dimensions one need to check for, and it could be in any range and aspect. By that I mean that you might be having a problem to the strategic connect of your organization. That could be that people are not able to connect to the brand, the vision, mission, or the leadership. Or there could be a problem related to hygiene, wherein there is no role clarity for me. I don't have a financial safety within working with the organization. I might not be having psychological satisfaction. In today's time, we are at a distance. We never thought, none of us have a space or an infra where we can sit and make an office. Do my employer or my HR leader is thinking for me in that direction? I have an extra cost which has come in play because of my infra, because of my logistics, because of my internet, etc. Is my leader thinking of it? So these could be hygiene problem which we should address to, and we might be going here and there to try to fix up the culture which is actually at 60,000 feet which we are trying to solve. Or there could be a problem in relationships. The reason is that you are from a distance now. There is no team relation. How can you have that bonding again working from a distance? You are not in that one single office where you used to go for a cup of a tea together and used to enjoy chit chat. Those moments used to give you relaxation. In today's time, there could be those problems which are coming in. That is, again, we need to envisage that, and we need an expert to that. I have a career problem because a lot of organizations have done maybe a salary cut. Some people, despite of salary cut, might still be excited because the leadership, the culture is so very well promoted that they say, hey, we are a family, and today if there is a cut, we promise and we will deliver the way we have done it in past. We'll do it in future as well. Your money is secure, and together let's swim and let's get out of this pandemic which has made us to do that. But our intent is not that bad. We are very clear on it. So maybe on one hand there is a salary cut, but people are motivated enough. They feel that yes, I have to gun for my organization. Vis-a-vis, on the other hand, you might have not done so much of salary cuts, but still there's a lack of motivation which is there in your people. Similarly, how you would shape up their career path in today's time, when we are saying that there won't be any kind of appraisal which might happen this year. Most of the organizations are taking steps. Can I stand out in the crowd and say, hey, we will do that one piece? And all this, what I am saying, you need an expert to understand that what is that problem which you need to fix. It cannot be random, or it cannot be on guts. Now, for that, let me find the root cause. If we have visited a doctor, now doctor is not God. So are we as HR leaders or employers or founders of an organization. If doctor cannot go inside your body to know that what is an ailment and how I need to fix, before there's a diagnosis. And for that diagnosis, there has to be certain set of tests which I need to do. If I need to do certain set of tests, then only I would be able to know where is my problem. Similarly, you need to reach out to your people. They are the one who would be letting you know that where the problem is to the core. They would be the one who would be raising an alarm, hey, we need to fix this. They would be the one who would be giving their hand themselves to check their pulse. It's just the intent. It's just that you have to decide, you have to take that one step wherein you say that, yes, we want to know it from you. And that's where the most powerful tool comes as pulse survey or a pulse, or we call it as an engagement feedback mechanism. So just to give a clarity on the thoughts, we might as leaders mix two of them. One are the ones which are the normal survey which we do annually. So let me put it, it's been 100 years now that surveys are in existence. It started first in 1920. I don't want to get into datas, but yes, it's been 100 years to know that. But knowing the pulse on a regular basis, there comes a very handy platform which is called as knowing the pulse survey. Knowing the pulse of your people through a survey which is regular in nature, which is continuous in nature, and which we run to the entire set of audiences. And that's the reason I say that please don't do it yourself. Believe in the expert, believe in the doctor. They would be the one who can cure it. Today, what happens is people want to solve the problem and they go to an expert. Still, they have that, hey, this is how you need to do. Oh my God, if you know everything, then why have you come to me? If you have that faith in me, please pass on your hand and do a handshake. And just with that trust, pass on that baton to me and let me help you to govern that what you need, I will try to fix it out for you. By that, I mean that I will give you those 4 points which you want to solve, where your people are saying that we are facing that problem. And that's where the domain expert is being needed. That's where you need someone who can solve it to the core. And there are a lot of examples to it. So we ourselves expertise into that domain, where we become a doctor to check the pulse of your people and give you stats around that. Hey boss, hey ma'am, this is where the problem lies in the organization. You were thinking that there's a problem with the appraisal system, but that's not the case. People are happy with that. Or there's a compensation problem. No, people are happy with their compensation. They feel that they are at par, or even if not, then there are different other benefits which organization is giving. The problem is that with your leadership, people feel that your leadership, the leaders in your organization are not competent enough. The people feel that we are not able to submit to our leader. The people feel that leaders don't have that much of knowledge to show their career path. And that's where we expert come in play. So there are a lot of platform like XoxoDay. It could be Culture M, Tiny Pulse, and so on and so forth. So there is a decent amount of list which would help you to know the pulse of your people. Now you know. Now you have gone for the diagnosis of the problem, and there has to come a report card. Now there is a report card which is stating, or which is showcasing, hey, where I have failed, or where am I at borderline, or where I am passing. And that's how your reports give you, any of your diagnosis reports give your doctor a scientific reason to prescribe the medicines. Similarly, we also come very handy. We also act as a doctor. We also diagnose the problem which has come. And now, why I am saying for all that you need a digital tool, it is as simple as that. Till the time we are 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 people, there is a way we can manage manually. The moment we start to surpass that number, it really becomes a tedious task for anyone, because then we are operating on Excels. Excels would generally give you what you have given an input to it, wherein system plays an intelligent role, because there are a lot of intelligent elements which come in system to derive an analytics outcome as well as insights. So that's a basic difference between the kind of survey we had been doing as an employee survey or employee feedback survey versus a pulse survey, wherein you are able to gauge. And Pulse survey, just to share a few of the examples or the ideology, the Pulse survey behaves in a very similar fashion the way our poll surveys behave. Just with limited audience, handful people, we are able to derive an analytics. So with just surveying handful people during the election time, the agencies are or the news channels are able to depict the number of seats, yeah, and they keep changing. A survey which was done 3 months ago versus the one which is just a month ago before the election date, the results could vary, the results could be the same. Same as with your engagement survey. And the only difference which comes in play is that if I have raised a funding today, yeah, my people will be energetic and my NPS score would go up. NPS score is nothing but net promoter score. And if we say employee net promoter score, therein you are able to gauge that how your people are feeling actually. And similar way, so today my NPS score is high because I've raised a funding. People are boosted up. They are saying, boom, boom, we are happy. And after some time, we see that there are two major clients, which we have lost as an organization, as a brand. And people are aware of that. And there comes tuk tuk. There comes a heartbeat which comes in play. Why? They're saying, hey, my God, my business has taken a dip. Will we survive? Will we not? And that's where your score starts to come down. And if we are able to get the live score, we are able to save our people from it. And we are able to get the exact results, exact diagnosis. So when all this done, now we know what needs to be fixed. I went to my family doctor for my consultation that I had a severe stomach. After test, the doctor recommended that, hey, you need to visit to a gastrologist because I am not the right person to give you medicine for that, because there's a problem which is aggravated and there is a specialist who would handle that. Similarly, surveys give you a live mirror wherein you know that problem is where I am not rewarding my people, or problem is with their career growth, or problem is that my brand assessment in their eyes is not what I feel. And if I get the exact analytics to this, believe you in me, we together become successful to get that problem fixed. Let's not try ourselves. And these are few of the suggestions which I keep sharing with due respect to all my HR leaders who are, most of them have become a friend as well, wherein we go into a lot of discussion regarding that. And that's where the also reason comes is because those are very technical in nature. The way anyone and everyone cannot be a doctor to prescribe, because you need to know immense about that problem. You should have studied about that. You should have that mindset to prescribe something, and that all comes with the education and expertise. And that's where, from a distance in today's time, when you want to know the pulse of your people, the best is start trying the pulse survey kind of a thing, and that would actually give you the right figure, the right report card for every one of you. Now this is a continuous process. A lot of us thinks that I have consulted doctor has given me, doctor has seen that test for me, I have prescribed medicine, I am feeling better, done. Come on, you had a problem in your stomach that was related to you are having gastric problem. How do you feel that it will be removed completely? Yes, doctor has advised you to live a healthy lifestyle, to disown few of the habits which cause this problem, but still there is a medicine which is being prescribed, or there is a caution which is being prescribed by the doctor. Similarly, for knowing the pulse of your people, this expert give you all the insights, and those insights come automatically through different productions. We at XoxoDay take pride in stating that a lot of organizations of whom we serve to use the pulse mechanism to know the heartbeat of their people. And in today's time, it's helping them a lot. Though COVID, non-COVID, pandemic, non-pandemic, you need those attributes where you can check your people. And why I've come through this story, because I wanted to give this message that it's right time to know the pulse of your people before things worsen up. And that's the reason I didn't had too much of data coming in play. We can read all those data, and we have lots of channel to consume those data. So that's the reason I wanted to plot a story and tell you that what is the need, why you need, and if there is a need, please address to that need to answer XYZ. And when you do all this, the outcome is very, very simple. The outcome is an end result of the activities. When I talk about the family, if I've visited doctor, I've taken precautions, and now I've been prescribed to live my healthy life with some medicines or a change in my lifestyle, I am bound to follow if I want to fix this problem by my heart. Or if I want to do it as an ad hoc arrangement, I am bound, or I am attracted toward that problem which was created, and I'll realign. So similarly, if you want a happy workforce, that's a continuous process. Most of my friends generally visit an expert and they want to do it one time exercise. This is not one time. You have to continuously keep two fingers on the pulse of your employee. That's how you would be able to know that what's the range of the heartbeat of your person. That was a short story message. The endeavor was not to promote any of the brands. The endeavor was not to promote that, hey, please start using us. The endeavor was that please start thinking into those lines. Please start thinking into that direction before it's too late. Stop trying at your level. Stop interpreting basis on the guts. Let's fix it up and fix it up for all. Now, before I open the house, for any questions, or rather than making a monologue, I can have a few of the questions which are coming from your end and would like to take it up. I wanted to throw some data, and why I thought to give some data, because as a human, we only and only as human beings, we believe that if there is a number attached to it, there's a value to it. So the number says that engagement is very, very important. Why? Because engaged employee perform 20% better than their disengaged counterparts. These are all proven stories. Second stat says that companies with engaged employee outperform up to 200% better. Third stat says that 31% high productivity, 37 higher sales, and 3x is higher creativity. And that's what generally each and every brand wants from their people. And the fact is that most of us, where I started from, most of us place business at the center, because that's a cultural fix we need to do within our organization. And I say that if you are able to build that relation with your employees, you can build with your clients later. Why? Because we, all of us, have read this quote during our management days, or otherwise from our parents or from our mentors. Hey, customer is the king. I beg your pardon, and I disagree to the fact, on not principally, but I say that my people are my king and queens. If I am able to make sure that my people become my king and queen, I am rest assured I can sleep with an assurance that the customer of mine are in the safe hand, and they will take that pride to make them king and queen. So with this, and I never intended to make it a boring one. I thought that it would always be good to give you some insights toward that, to present it. It would be good to take some questions, if any. Let me see. Yeah, welcome to know your.
Right. That was a great talk, Abhimanyu. We had a similar talk yesterday when one of the speakers covered something called CX is equals to EX, where the customer experience is, the spoke about the correlation between the employee experience and customer experience, and how it leads to, if your employees are really happy and engaged, that will really translate into your customers' experience that they have.
Yeah.
And especially in these times of the lockdown or the COVID outbreak, it's much more important when you have a remote workforce to, have that engagement retained and being flowing across the whole workforce that you have.
Yeah, that's correct, Saurabh. So, in today's time, you even need to be more closer to your people, and the
Exactly.
only way is digital format. The way this session used to happen in a physical format, but you cannot skip because this is a necessity. You need to touch base with your people, and that's
Yeah.
where digital transformation comes in play. Similarly, people are offset, people are working remotely, but your two fingers cannot go away from that pulse of your people to know the heartbeat. And that's where
Exactly.
digital transformation is really important, to know the pulse.
Right, and with this whole outbreak, there are new problem statements that are coming up, right? And the platforms, I mean, existing platforms or the new platforms need to address all these challenges and problems, and need to cover these nuances which are newly formed, right? And technology is the only thing that can really fill all the challenges that are coming up with, everyone working remotely. So that's my take. And we have a question, Abhimanyu, which says, how should companies focus more on employee satisfaction and then later profits? Because most of the companies think that profits and money should be their first priority. That's a cultural shift question, but what's your really take on it?
Yeah. So thanks for this question, and I really agree to what is being said. First of all, it has to be in the heads of the top leadership for any organization, whether it's a promoter driven, or whether it's a co-founder driven organization where promoters are there, or it's a professional people who are driving it as the CEO and the CXOs level for that organization. You need to first make a bent, and you need to change the mindset of yours that it's people who will give that result. And how to do that? Do a pulse check of your people and find their problem. Again, I would repeat that: find their problem. And when you are able to find and fix the problem, please monitor the ROI onto that. So the only way is, there's a current system in practice, yeah, where
Yeah.
there is a business which is sitting at the center, and
Mhm.
there already there is an ROI, or there is a metrics to it. So there are already a business number which are being recorded. Let's reverse the situation for next 6 months. Let's hear out what your people say.
Yeah.
Let's hear out the voice of your people. Solve their problem, and then do the same metrics test. You will find a huge difference even in your business number, because at the end of the day, it's not the robots who is closing the business. Even the robots need a direction, because human touch cannot be removed even whatever technologies come in play. So
Yes.
my answer to your question would be that it's a mind shift, it's a cultural shift which needs to be bring in from top to bottom.
Exactly. Uh, Abhimanyu, another question from Ward Isman. He says, how are employees looking to give feedback differently now that most of them are working from home?
So still, what there could be different perception, and there could be a different problem statement.
Yes.
So the problem statement is that it could be that I joined an organization in the month of January, yeah, and I was being promised that I have been onboarded with a commitment and a promise. Hey, we do our annual appraisal in the month of April when our new financial year start in Indian context, and that's where we would be taking. Can you join us as of now with relatively a hike, but we'll do a justice to you. And the gentleman or the lady agreed to the fact, and they are onboarded. They were never expecting, so were the employer for the organization were not expecting that there would be a pandemic coming in. Now for this gentleman or the lady, he or she is in soup that I have taken a wrong decision, and now my salary bracket is not what I was supposed to get it. Now there's a problem, for a very different problem statement for someone. This someone is in business team who was slogging day and day and night, but the results are not falling in place, but had been a performer. The only way to keep the motivation high, that you start some kind of incentivization for that set of people. The third set of people is that who are living as bachelor and are working into metros, and as a bachelor my infra is not ready. I might be staying as a PG guest, so I don't have my infra to support. And then there is a set of employee who would be loving and living with their family as a whole, and could be a joint family, wherein the no support mechanism is there in terms of our domestic help, etc. All have very very different mindset. And the fifth one could be a one who was working just 9 hours before, but today is forced to work 12 to 13 hours in a day, would have a very very different mindset. Now how do you know that what needs to be fixed? That's what I was trying to say, that let's study and let's know from them that what is their problem, and fix the problem according to the set of problems you have got.
Well answered. Abhimanyu, one more question. Do you think that Indian companies are also taking care of employees' mental stress or work-life balance, or all they look is a workhorse to work around the clock?
Yeah, so definitely, so at least people, or the leaders or the founders who care for their people a lot. I know quite a few organization, even in the Indian context, organization like Bajaj, organization like Reliance, have given have made it mandatory. They have hired their mental expert who are doing a mandate session which one needs to opt for. There is no opt out option. So there is a mandate which has come in, because organization have started to understand that people are not in a normal mode. A lot of organization have started to give the 1 day off or 2 day off, compulsory off in a month's time, apart from your weekends. So organization like Accenture, etc., have or Siemens, any of the larger set organization have made it compulsory, because if you have leave balance, when you are not going out, you don't have marriages, you don't have any other, you don't have holidays, your leave might lapse. It's better to spend time with family, rejuvenate yourself, and come fresh. And there are a lot of organizations who are doing that.
Great. But this is more of a ideological or a cultural, principle that needs to be adopted by the organization rather uh, than an individual can really do for it.
Yeah, so sort of, what I rightly mentioned is that so there are very different demographics to it,
Hmm.
because I as a founder might think that mine is a young force. So my organization average age would be 27. People might not be feeling a mental fatigue, because most of them are bachelors. If I am able to solve their infra, etc., or problem related to some of the monetary aspects, they are fit and fine. Wherein organization who have millennials to Gen Z or all or a baby boomers kind of so all generations are there, would have a very different set of problem in today's time.
Right.
For them, it's the best piece is to analyze those problems rather than taking a generic one. And that's my urge to all the listeners. Please don't get into a one fit solution and that would address to everyone.
Yeah.
No, there would be a very very different problem in your organization, and you need to assess those problems, you need to diagnose those problems before finding a solution to that.
Makes sense. Great, Abhimanyu. I think that covers all the questions that we had, and that was a really insightful talk. The conversation at the end was, I mean, the answers that you gave was also pretty pathfinding and directional for in terms of the questions were asked. So this brings to us to the end of this session, and we have the last session of the conference, which is the next one, and after that we'll be winding up and the 2 day conference that we had. Thanks a lot for your time, Abhimanyu.
Thank you,
Thanks a lot
Saurabh.
for all the
Thank you.
help that you given us for the conference and for the talk as well. Appreciate the effort and the commitment. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Saurabh, for being a wonderful moderator. And thanks to the entire audience for listening me patiently. And I'm pretty sure that some of the things might be a takeaway, at least in terms of getting that open up into your mind that your people should be bring into the center. With that, I take a pause and wishing each one of you a very happy weekend ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.